Hello and welcome everyone to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for February 18th to the 25th. Yes, it's been a week. My goodness. Okay. Setting all that aside, let's close our eyes, take 3 deep breaths together, and pull our energies into this present moment right here, right now, so that we can co-create a magnificent reading for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. And just see that tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, anchoring you deep into this present moment. Knowing that that tree root is not only grounding you here and now in your life, but it is a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily and effortlessly pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for new growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with your other children, and we are about to do a reading for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we most need to receive right now, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good, and the actualization of all of our gifts and abilities to co-create a magnificent future collectively. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future to be present and facilitate this exchange, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to facilitate our gathering and allow it to happen in the highest and best way possible for our personal and collective good, and that we cover all that is in our collective heart and mind at this time in the window that we have together today. I'd also like to thank the 4 archangels for coming and holding the 4 directions around us across time and space, collecting each and every one of us into the fold, this collective bubble of light, of love, of wisdom, of healing, of transformation, of peace, of all the good that is in our hearts and minds. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel for holding the north. Thank you for coming and for facilitating this clarity and this peace and this wisdom, this transformation, this upliftment. Thank you for being here and helping us to rise. Anything that doesn't match the frequencies and intentions of clarity, of wisdom, of love and light, transformation and empowerment is welcome to go now. And with that, let's get to it, shall we? Okay, Creator. It has been a week. There's a lot going on the planet. And there's a lot going on for us personally as a result. And a lot going on collectively. There's a lot of energy going on. A lot of things are changing quickly. And I ask that you support us by providing us with the clarity and the wisdom that we need to be our best selves at this time, and to help us to find our center, our peace, our best knowingness, our clearest connection to you, our grounding, so that we can do our good work. So what is it that we need to know right now for our personal and collective good? Okay. Let's see where it goes. The recent past. As always, this energy continues into our present, into our future. And the card of indecision is the first card sitting in our recent past. And so this is, if you look, you see the woman is standing very still. She has her sword out and drawn, but she's standing very still. She's poised. She's ready to take action when the inspiration comes. And despite these other swords coming in and into her field, into her experience, she just knows intuitively that it's not time. It's not time yet to take action. And instead, she's waiting for the divine download, which we see here, this golden ray coming down to the top of her head. And with that, she then knows what she needs to do. It's the card of getting ready to be ready. That's how I see it. When we don't know what to do, clearly it's not time to take action yet. And it's what we can do is what we have around us and before us to do. Taking care of those pieces, those bits and pieces, cleaning things up, completing things, organizing things, so that our energy is freed up from extraneous details, so that when the time is ready, we can move forward powerfully. This energy, this way of being, of thinking, of existing, continues now into our present, into our future. It's important to take into account as we move forward here. The present card, where we are today, where we are now, is the card of seclusion, the Four of Swords. And so there's this call to go inward, this call to ground, this call to connect with something broader, wiser than us as individuals. Fours in the number of stability. They're the earth element, the square. You think it's the most stable form. This idea of tapping into that energy before we take action, before we make a move, because swords are about ideas and action. And so once again, there's sort of this card of indecision. There's a lot coming at us. So what do we do? How do we do it? And in the present, there's this call to kind of continue to just turn inward, to find a peaceful, grounded space, to go inward, to find the answers that you seek to the questions. Because truly, we're coming to the point right now in our evolution as humanity, the answers are not outside of us. There's a lot going on outside of us. There's a lot of information outside of us, and we can use that to clarify what we want. But our guidance, is for our personal highest and best, is within us. And so turning inward and accessing that wise, calm, still, balanced space is a recommended direction for us this week, so that we can be at our best and we can continue to hold a clear, high frequency on the planet as we go through and navigate these strange times that, wait 5 minutes, it'll change again. That's this Uranian energy of surprise. Okay, and then your future card, we have the Moon. So the Moon is a major arcana. It has to do with our evolution. It has to do with, part of it is when we sleep. Sleep is the time when we regenerate, when we process the events of the day, we integrate them, we heal, our body heals, that's our time of healing. All of that is very, very important and is part of the process of sleep, which is part of the Moon card, the energy of the card. It's also about understanding that even those places that we're afraid of actually are part of us and there to serve us. I guess one way of putting it is God is good and it's all God. Even when we would like to find some external thing to blame, some external energy and thought form, everything that is in creation is all part of one. The good, the bad, the up, the down, the all around. It's all part of one thing. And when we start to look at that with peacefulness, groundedness, wisdom, and we get curious, rather than being afraid, we get curious, then we can look into the dark aspects of ourselves and collectively and understand ourselves better. And as a result of that look into that spot, that place within us, it's like making friends with it. And I'm not saying making it okay if things are out of integrity, because that's not what I'm saying. But we cannot change unless we become aware of the iniquities. We cannot change unless we recognize what the problems are. The elephant in the room needs to be discussed. That's the quality of this card. And so as a result of that, we become more. Our good look at this, our awareness of it, our willingness to see it and recognize it is empowering for us personally and collectively, because then we can make a new decision moving forward. We will not be negatively impacted by a drag on our psychic consciousness personally and collectively because of whatever it is that we've got hidden in the closet. It needs to be cleaned up. We want to move forward powerfully collectively. Personally, we want to have good lives, and we need to clean it up. We need to clean ourselves up. We need to clean the collective up. We need to open life up again, get the sunlight and the air circulating into the dark corners of our world so that things can be healed, so that we can be healed, so that we can together come forward and co-create a magnificent world. And it's part of our evolution. It's part of our healing. It's part of our integration and becoming more as human beings on the planet at this time. So this isn't about being afraid, or if we are afraid, recognizing that the fear is something that needs to be, if there's anything to be afraid of, it's the fear. And we need to be bigger than that. Take a deep breath, ground, coming back to this. Grounding, coming back to our center, coming back to our home within ourselves. And then being able to look at things clearly and well so that we can evolve collectively, so we can understand and integrate and grow and direct life in good ways for the future. The foundation card is strength. This is what we're going to need going forward, but this isn't the strength that I think we're seeing on the planet of might, domination, control, trying to dominate another. It's not about that. It's the strength of love, of kindness, of understanding, of willingness to hear another and witness them and see them in all of their humanness and love them anyway. That's the strength that I'm talking about here. The card is of a woman, and she's with the king of the beasts, and she's made friends with this animal as a result of pulling a thorn from its paw. And as a result, the animal is now her friend and is very loyal. And she has the infinity symbol that above her head, which indicates she's coming from a very high, intentional, conscious place. And another idea of this representation is our higher self overcoming our animal nature, our smaller self, our, the animal, the small, the petty, the aspect that we all are, the human, the animal aspect of what it means to be human. This card is about not dominating it, but understanding it and being with it and holding it in a good way so that we are whole, but it's not the one that's running the show. This isn't about the animal self or the lower self or the baser intelligence running things. This is about us taking that deep breath, coming back to our hearts, coming back to our center, coming back to our grounding, knowing that we are divine beings having a human experience and responding to life from that wise place rather than reacting, knee-jerk reaction, fear, that animal response. We have to get beyond that. We have to rise above that. That's where we are. That's the journey. That's the challenge that is in front of us right now. We are being lit up by the things that we're witnessing in the outer world. They're challenging us to face our own inner demons, so to speak, and challenging us to respond with love, with kindness, with awareness, with compassion, so that we can transcend our own inner difficulties. And as a result, we can come together collectively from a kinder, wiser, more compassionate place and address the problems that we have in our culture, address the lower animal instinctive nature that's been running the show. We have to rise above. It's what we're here to do. It's why we've come and taken on these bodies. It's not only to enjoy this incredible experience of being in form and the beauty that's here and the depth of experience that we have as a result of being embodied, but it's also to rise to our higher nature and to bring more of that higher intentional energy and frequency through so that we can have the best of both worlds. We can be embodied and enjoy the pleasures and the gorgeousness of being embodied and bring the wiser, broader, conscious, intentional part of us into the world at this time through us to solve the problems that we face and to live in a way that is kinder, more compassionate, collaborative, and beautiful, collaborating with the earth, collaborating with the other life forms that are here, collaborating with each other. It's going to be challenging for us humans because we're really used to just kind of looking at ourselves. Not all humans, but Western ones or conditioned ones, I guess. We've gotten away from that community mindedness. So this is our reading this week, and it feels really really true. We need to be cleaning things up, cleaning up our past, cleaning up the story, cleaning up our garbage, cleaning up what's in our field, and recognizing that when we're lit up about something, it's because there's something there that needs to be addressed and that we need to make peace with. And we can do that so much more effectively when we have some kind of practice that brings us to ourselves, that brings us back to our grounding, that connects us to the broader, wiser part of us, and helps us to just be here now, responding from love rather than reacting from either a cerebral space or an animal, lower frequency, vibrational space of just being fear-driven. The near future, this energy of the moon, as one of my favorite astrologers is talking about these days, this is a time of revelations and revolutions. As things are coming to the surface for the light to heal them and transform them, and that's going to continue, and it's probably going to get more intense, we need to be prepared to look at these things and address them and heal them and find our way forward. And that's why this is so important. This here personally, in our own lives, and as a human collective, a human family, stand and face the atrocities and the difficulties and the mess that we've made. We're going to need to look into the dark places and shine the light in there and clean it up. It's just what needs to be done. And it's going to be challenging. There's going to be a lot of things we don't want to see, but we can do it. And we can do it if we're kind and compassionate. We can do it from this place of strength, from that kind strength, that wise strength, that loving strength, that responsive strength, rather than reactive, fear-based, knee-jerk way of doing things. So our evolution continues this week. Humanity continues to climb and grow, and we're going to continue to fall in the hole and have our moments, and we're going to feel, because our hearts are opening, we're going to feel the setbacks more keenly in our heart. And if that's you, I ask that you be compassionate and kind with yourself and find ways to ground. I encourage you to get outside for a really good walk. Go hug a tree. Ask for permission, but go hug a tree. And just know that our time in nature is really, really helpful for supporting that shift. There's a meditation I like to do that brings earth energy up through my legs and cosmic energy down my back and clears that out down that ground that I like to invite you all to access at the beginning of the reading. So any of the dirty energy, old stuck stuff that rushes out, and then that pools in the pelvic basin, then comes up the front of the body, down the arms and out the hands, clearing the channels of the front of the body, the arms, then it comes up the neck and through the head, and then it becomes this fountain of light as the gunk gets cleared away. It's this fountain of light, and I like to see it spiraling down in a golden egg all around me, creating a beautiful mirrored surface golden egg of my own energy from the sun, from the sky, the cosmic energy, and from Mother Earth, together helping me to stay grounded and present and beautiful and here now. And that becomes a barrier or a boundary, a healthy boundary between my energy and somebody else's. And it's a simple meditation that you can do to just sort of visualize that. And what that'll do is it'll keep the energy of the big world out, and it'll keep your energy in, so you're not throwing invalidation or negative energy into somebody else's space. And you can just keep running that energy. And as it runs, just set the intention that it will run and wash away any darkness or heaviness or weightiness, and that can go down into the ground to become compost for new growth, for you personally and for all of us collectively. That's how forests work. We'll be trees of spirit here in human form. So I just offer that in case you're finding it difficult to stay in your heart and this heart opening thing makes you feel vulnerable. It's okay to understand that you are the sky, the emotions are the clouds that are just going by. They will pass, but you need to realize how much bigger you are, and it's okay. And the way onward is the way through. So don't get stuck in the emotions. Know that they're just there doing what they do. It's part of the human experience, and you are broader than that. And as I said, that energy, that visualization of a light egg around you, so to speak, just to kind of keep your energy clean and clear and flowing, and just to create a healthy boundary between you and somebody else's chaos, might be supportive at this time. Okay, and with that, let's move on to the card of the week, the card to grow on. There's a lot of uncertain energy right now, which is why coming back to the here and now and being right here in your own field, in your own body, in your own life is so important. Just grounding here and now. That's the best way to navigate it. And if you let the outside dictate what you're thinking about and what you're doing, then you're pulled off your center. You're not coming from the inside out, which is very important right now. Outside in, you'll feel off balance. Okay. So, what do we need to know? What's our card to grow on this week, Creator? What is it that will support us most? What awareness, what tools, what distinctions do we need to carry forward with us this week so that we can rise and adjust and adapt magnificently to whatever it is that is in front of us for our highest and greatest good, personally and collectively? And so we have the card of Temperance, Major Arcana. So this isn't a good time to drink your way out of your suffering or drug your way out of your suffering. This is about moderation in all things and how an approach that is balanced and intentional will serve you very well. It's like achieving a sort of a more neutral, grounded, broader perspective so that as life comes at you, at us, we are able to see it for what it is and not get caught up in the story or the drama or the nitty-gritty. So this energy of temperance, this lofty energy, so we have here the human, and the angel is pouring the water of life into their vessel, and the human is saying, whoa, it's like it's about to overflow, and the human knows their limit, and they're like, okay, that's good for now. And that's what we need to do. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the stuff of the world, taking a pause from that outside-in media or story or whatever it is a good idea. Let yourself take a break from that, come back and ground, meditate, get out in nature, do yoga, do Tai Chi, Qigong, whatever it is that's the practice that brings you home to yourself, back to your heart, back to your body. Bring yourself back there. Take a break from the stimulus of the outside world. Everything that you want is inside out. Your yes is inside out. We can see things in the outer world that inspire us, but our information is in here. And so this card is reminding us to take that lofty, broader perspective. Do what we need to do to be balanced and fair and appropriate, right action, right being in this moment. This is what this card is all about. And from that place, then we look at the world with wise eyes, and we know where it's appropriate to put our energy and where it's appropriate to pull back. We're all figuring this out at this time. Some of us maybe have been doing it for a little longer, so we're a little clearer about what that means for us, but we're all doing it at this time. So just play with it, practice it, get curious. Curiosity is a great field to be in, because then there's not the heaviness and the have-tos and the should. That energy isn't part of curiosity. This is more, it's playful, it's wondering, it's just, again, being curious and playful and looking at your life and saying, okay, what if? What if? And that's a great place to be. So this is our energy going forward, this energy of temperance for this week. Being mindful of where you're putting your energy, what you're putting your attention and your focus into. What are you using as a crutch? What are you using, and is it serving you really? Or is it diminishing your light and diminishing your capacity to really show up in the world at this time in a good way? So all of this, very good, very important, and part of the reading this week. And so with that, I hope that was of service to you and your loved ones. I hope that you will consider liking and sharing and subscribing if you haven't already. And I would appreciate you sharing this message if you find it uplifting and grounding and supportive of your best. If you feel it's appropriate, please consider sharing it with others. My intention with this work is to reach those who need it so that we can all navigate this time in our best way possible. So with that, let's take a nice deep breath together. Just drop into our hearts. Just drop into that lovely, soft place. Be at home within yourself. Learn to find that soft, warm, comfortable space within you. Place of love, kindness, compassion, well-being. Know it's safe to be there. There's a broader, wiser part of you that is part of you. It's always with you. We are much, much more than the energy that fits itself into these beautiful little bodies. And that part of us is always there, supporting us, loving us, guiding us, and helping us. And we can go there whenever we want to. That's the beauty of meditation, or any of these other practices that bring us home to ourselves, to our hearts, to this body, which is the field that we exist in. Just let yourself be there whenever you can. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania. I want to thank you for this opportunity to read for all of us. May it be in service to our personal and collective good. May we get what we need to rise above our smallness, to find our balance, to find our wisdom, to find our appropriate response to life from a clean, clear place within ourselves. Grant us the wisdom and the discernment and the capacity to witness and see that which needs to be cleaned up within ourselves and in the world at large, so that we can bring our best and that we can come together and do this good work together for our personal and collective good and for the future generations that we love so much, even though they aren't here yet. I want to thank all those grandmothers, grandfathers, sacred ancestors, all those who've come before us, of whom we are the line at this time, the active part of the family lines. I want to thank you for being here with us, for cheering us on and sending us your goodwill from the other side. And I want to thank all those angels, guides, enlightened beings, all those on the other side who are there supporting us. I want to thank all of that energy, and the energy of Mother Earth, and the energy of all other life here on this planet. Thank you. We're here, we're growing up, we're looking forward to co-creating a beautiful world together and cleaning up the mess that we've made for the benefit of everyone. May our leaders have the wisdom and the discernment they need to navigate their role as leaders in this difficult time. May they understand that they are there for the people and for this planet and all life on it, rather than for the profit of the few. Maybe they have the capacity to expand beyond any narrow perspective they may be currently operating in and expand into the light, into the breadth of the new world. A world of co-creative, collaborative, transparent, clean and clear energy. I want to thank you, Creator, for this opportunity to do this good work. The reading is at an end. Blessings on each and every one of you for being here, for being willing to do your good work. And we're doing it. We're slogging through it. Sometimes it's harder than at other times, but you know what? It's okay. We've got this. I wish you a beautiful week, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next Friday. Lots of love. Take care.